And we have a scrim underway.
Yeah, so we got, what, 2 from Qlimax? I'm not sure where Alvin's from.
I think Alvin's just around. He'd be Edot's brother, so I'm not sure where he's from either. But 3 Qlimax crew, if you include Chaos for Life, who is on the main roster. XWO Papond, who's on Be My Lover, and Alvin, who is not sure. But
Nightwalker just said Team Sono. Or
Team
Sono Gong, apparently.
Sonic Gong. Okay. Wasn't that previously Team, what do you call it, Case for Life? Turned into Team Sonogong?
Maybe.
So we've got a mixture of, wow, a lot of teams on the other side as well. This just looks like a mixed pug, pretty much. But it should be interesting regardless.
So looking at those blind bands, we are finally underway. Wild Soul Ophelia, Keeper Ophelia. So especially after the power of Ophelia we saw last game, coupled with that Demented Shaman. Not surprised to see her double ban there, but the others pretty standard. Keeper, Wild Soul. For the locks, we got Parasite, Bubbles, Pebbles, and Tempest, along with a Cthulhu, which is certainly an interesting one. Don't see him locked very often, but a Magnus. That's a pretty powerful lock pool apart from that Cthulhu. I'm not a big Cthulhu player. I'm not a big fan of him either. But then again, I really don't play those big sort of strength heroes.
Oh, fair enough. Cthulhu's, it's got a lot of controversy around Cthulhu, but I have seen it used on more than one occasion, really successfully. And notably from Domain of Pain, they ran it against, they won against Complexity with Cthulhu. So hero is still very viable. It's just I think you need someone that knows how to play it. The main upsides of Cthulhu is it can do pretty much anything, which is why it's so powerful. But again, I wouldn't expect to see it this game, knowing these two teams.
Play greater Silhouette, so Team Vires not wanting to come up against Silhouette, and Qlimax ended up banning out the Demented Shaman.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting to see the Silhouette banned over Draconis and Moon Queen, which have been more priority bans as of hard carries lately. So
there's still a little bit of room for it to come though. Fade Legionnaire, perhaps Qlimax hoping to pick up that Moon Queen, obviously having that first pick, or they just might have a different kind of lineup in mind. Wretched Hag will be the last one to get banned out by Team Vires, so not worrying about a Draconis or a Moon Queen in the mix.
Yeah, well, it's great to see it's the first pick of Moon Queen. It won't surprise me to see a Draconis picked up now either, just because of what the locks are. There's not really much left as a role of range carry, like god tier, considered god tier anyway, but
Torturer picked up, which is an interesting pick. Personally, I'm not a big fan of Torturer, especially if it's run in the suicide lane. Can have a lot of trouble.
I don't expect to see Tort suicide. Tort is one of those picks that can either be a carry or a support, which is, it definitely throws the opponents off, like not knowing what direction they're going to go, especially with that last pick out of the main pool. But yeah, just as an example, today Stay Green actually beat TDM in the Thailand GSL qualifiers with a carry Torturer from Slicks, so one of our own Aussie players. Going huge on Tort.
Tort are having a little bit of a resurgence. We have seen Tort in a couple of games, including some of the HoN Tour matches that we've cast. As part of our replay cast, we're going to see a rally, so a very interesting roster lineup here. Moon Queen Rally and Glacius for the Legion side. Hellborn still is another pick. I would like to see them pick up some sort of carry here, unless they decide to go that Torture carry that you're talking about, but I think a Torture carry sort of like a carry Pyro or something like that is going to need a lot of farm to get that potential.
Yeah, Tort carry is definitely not aimed at late game, or if you're aiming it there, you're expecting your team to be really strong and being able to lock down the opposing team's carry. So we'll be looking at a lot of action this game at a guess. Seeing Chipper there is a great pickup. I love Chipper, and I definitely think he's underrated. So hopefully we can see some big plays from this Chipper.
Parasite. Tempest.
So Parasite, Tempest, both picked up by Team Vires, and I mean Qlimax crew could still go Cthulhu if they want to run sort of a jungle or a semi-jungle even. Although I feel that Cthulhu, in my experience, and this is as I admitted, I don't play much Cthulhu, or don't really see him much either. He doesn't really benefit from being a sort of a hard jungler. I usually see him, he goes in, steals some creeps, comes out.
Yeah, well, Cthulhu, it depends how you play it. Like, Cthulhu is a very aggressive jungler, so you want to see lots of ganks from a Cthulhu. Though, in saying that, you can level up really fast with Cthulhu, and there we go, it's picked up. Kaiser Prime taking the role, so that should be interesting. Kaiser obviously being a really strong player, seen him on the Tempest for QMX multiple times.
Also, Kaiser Prime is vertical.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
cool. I think Kaiser's actually done a co-cast with me once, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, Kaiser's awesome. Even though he can't carry me in mid wars, I have to carry him. But shout out to Kaiser.
Shout out to Kaiser. Now, I doubt we're going to see it, but I would troll Chaos for Life at this point and tell him he has to get an Abyssal Skull if he wants to make that Moon Queen work. Just to stack those auras, of course.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, it's neither of these teams, actually. Who have we got? Qlimax crew. So I think you and I actually casted a match of, was it Complexity versus Dendy's Jungle Devos?
Yeah, where Dendy's tried to run a push strat against Complexity.
And it was a bit, not annoying, but it was a bit interesting that even though Dendy's Jungle Devos had a push team, they had the Balfagor and they had the heals and things like that, in the end I think Complexity ended up taking the first tower and just sort of steamrolled them from there, having an easier time pushing. Their team actually built around countering pushes. So I think they had maybe like an Aluna and a Bubbles or something like that, and some other sort of AoE AoE stuff.
Yeah, no, that was a great series too, but Complexity did it perfect. They defended with 3, stopping the push, just holding it off, and just pushed with 1, and the 1 ended up pushing faster while getting farm from the lane and XP. So Complexity just came out on top on gold XP, just straight up. And yeah, so like, if you want to watch a really good push game, where it was push versus anti-push, but it really turned, like, it's probably the closest one I've seen. Honestly, that GSL game this morning, the game 2, SG versus TDM. I hate referring back to the same games over and over, but this series was great, and I really recommend watching that one if you haven't already. Maybe me and Dan will do a cast of it.
Yeah, if we can get some more of those GSL matches, especially some of these early qualifying matches are always fun because the matchups aren't, you know, you're seeing like big teams come up against big teams early, and it's sort of all over the place really. So
yeah. But GSL has been fun, actually. Like, I really enjoyed it, and I guess it's kind of, it wasn't, say, an upset, but a lot of people were expecting TDM to take out the first qualifier, considering there's only 2 spots as well. So the fact that SG took that out, everyone, like Complexity and stuff, TDM's always been that kind of team to beat lately. So, you know, with SG having the spot and TDM still being in there as the team to beat, it's really, this is definitely going to be fun to see how it rolls.
Parasite actually in that aggressive jungle here, and we see in the long lane a Deadwood Torturer. So we've got a pseudo tri-lane versus a pseudo tri-lane here, and in the short lane, Chipper having an easy time. Should be doing relatively well against that Bubbles. Obviously, Bubbles being able to take cover against those rockets could make it a little bit harder for that harass to come out. But Chipper's auto attack's pretty decent anyway. Yeah.
Chipper is a beautiful solo hero, but then again, Bubbles is also a good solo hero, and you don't see this matchup often, so it'd be nice to see how it plays out. Rally vs Tempest is really interesting. You don't often see a Tempest go solo mid, so yeah, I'm really happy to see these different strats run.
Torture in a little bit of trouble here. Glacius does not have anything else to back it up with, as they are still all level 1. But do you think the Tempest plan here is deny with a minion once he gets it to... Oh, it doesn't need it to level 2, does he? That's just Parasite. But let's see if he takes a second level. No, he takes a second level in the Glacial Blast. But he could potentially, get some elementals happening and send them into the jungle, or just use them for harass.
The way I've seen it run is it's definitely used as harass. You split those minions and it's really hard to come up against it. The only way really to beat it is to kill the minions before they split. See, now they're split, he should get like 100% creeps right now. Like, you just see the power of like those split creeps taking the creep kills at mid. So again, it's a really interesting lineup, and you don't see it often.
The other thing as well, which sort of reminds me of that other match we were watching, we've seen a lot of sort of suicide or semi-suicide heroes actually playing the mid lane now, and using that. Well, we saw a Plague Rider the other day using that deny ability, and then now we've got that Tempest as well with the deny ability, getting very close to that rally, Invis rally, but he should be fine.
Yeah.
And obviously in a short lane, you got to keep that balance between denying and not letting it push into your tower. Missing the Bloodlust kill, Torture ends up going down.
Cthulhu coming out and proving to be, you know, that aggressive jungler that I was talking about. He's again one of those junglers that you will see gank just consistently. So and Cthulhu, like, besides that, just the matchup Para versus Cthulhu, I think Cthulhu wins pretty much every time. So running a Para against him is really ballsy.
Wow, a blind snipe from July 20. From Angie Verona onto July 29. Chipper getting awfully low onto that tower. I saw him shoot the rocket, and I was just like, oh, okay, random rocket. But then
I missed that one. I wish I saw it. So well done by Angie Verona. So again, like these interesting lineups definitely pay off sometimes.
Cthulhu's back in the lane again, going to charge onto that Torture and not actually hit him though. And Deadwood's going to hold that Moon Queen. This could be a counter kill here. One more auto attack will finish him off. Chimpy getting credit for the kill on that suicide lane Deadwood.
Yeah, it's again, beautiful counter kill there. Unfortunately, that is the one main problem with Cthulhu. I think that's why a lot of people have this semi-hate towards him, just because that stun is so easy to dodge. It really is. You have to come from surprise to land it most of the time.
Looks like Tempest actually getting some rune control here as well with the bottle.
Tempest doing a great job mid actually. Like if you look at the creep kills here, you know, 21 to 13 versus a 11 to 2 rally. So Tempest actually winning this lane by quite a fair amount and doing a lot of harass with that DD.
Actually, I think cancelling some of Rally's bottle charge there as well. Well, he still has a little bit more. It's going to make it a little bit difficult. And I don't think Rally's really been using any abilities to get in there and get up on that Tempest. Just wanting to avoid the glacial blast, and now Tempest with that elemental void as well. It's just going to make things a lot harder, especially if someone like a Torture or Chipper even starts roaming in a couple of levels. Maybe he tries to set up a cheeky gank. You see Ashley Parasite in that aggressive jungle. Would be a perfect opportunity if he can get maybe a good creep.
Most definitely. Even just his minions. If he can split a couple of minions and get an elemental void, that's deadly for the rally. For sure. See, this lineup at bot actually is interestingly going pretty, like, very, very similar to, you know, both pseudo tri-lanes equaling out each other pretty much. Again, the whole game overall has been pretty close. So, see this bot lane with creep kills almost even. The one matchup that is really, like, shining, I guess, in this is the Tempest mid.
It looks like Rally's actually going to get that Invis Rune first. And he will bottle it up. So, still level 5 though. I would imagine he's pretty close to level 6. Do you think he might sort of try and absorb some passive XP here, maybe make something happen? I think he's really going to need some help though. But if he can get the huge stomp off the Seismic Slam onto that Tempest, I mean, Tempest pretty squishy, could make something happen if it is encountered sort of straight away.
Yeah, no, I'd almost say that Rally could insta-give this Tempest, but like the way he's leveled his abilities.
Level 6. Will we see it? No.
Prompts to go to the jungle to go and try and pick up that Parasite, I guess.
And he's going to run into the Parasite here. And it looks like Cthulhu's coming in as well. They might wait for Parasite to drop the minion. There we go. And the stun coming out. Rally actually getting up the top. Seismic Slam, there it goes. They end up finishing off that Parasite. So 5's getting caught out there.
Yeah, well, Fives is playing in that aggressive jungle, and obviously these are the downsides to doing that, you know, and again, I think he's doing a particularly decent job considering he's going up against the Cthulhu font. In general, most of the times I see a Cthulhu para line up, the para just like fails outright. But Rally jumping on Tempest here mid, but don't think anything's really going to happen to that one. Bubbles is mid though, so got his ult up and he's ready to
Bubbles level 6 could try and make something happen on this Tempest. Tempest still has Elemental Void. And you see that Moon Queen coming in here as well. There goes the Shell Surf and that Kelp Field. Deadwood just completely melts. And Tempest could still be in a little bit of trouble. He used the ultimate, but it was cancelled straight away, I believe. Either due to the silence or that Kelp Field. And
the charge went through it.
Oh, the charge went through it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Rally looking like he's going to try and line up another kill. Bubbles sitting mid, but
Chipper's at bot, so he could. This could be a dead Glacius. He throws out the Saw Blades and the rockets as well. Cthulhu nearby, but not going to be able to make anything happen. So I'd imagine he's going to go back to farming.
So Rally actually baits out a Tempest stun from his illusion, but I don't think he's actually going to make anything happen with that. Thought maybe he'd go for a stun combo, stun ult combo, but he decided to take the safe route.
Can you use the push aspect of Rally's thing on an illusion? Does that work?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It pushes any ally unit, which includes illusions. So yeah.
Top lane, Bubbles level 7, Parasite coming in with his Striders. Just farm up the lane until Chipper can get there.
Maybe go up for a kill, but Chipper shows himself, so doesn't look like anything's going to happen here either.
Deadwood could be in a lot of trouble. Rally ends up coming in as well, so 4 collapse. And great teamwork there. Torture forced to back off.
Just annihilated Chimpy there.
Tempest could be in a bit of trouble. He's got no mana. Kelpfield comes out and the taunt as well from that Bubbles. Bubbles standing up on the hill just in case. And the minions doing what they can. But Tempest could be in a lot of trouble. Shell Surf silence as well. Bubbles may not be able to chase this Tempest too well, but Tempest 350 movement speed versus 345. This Tempest could actually get out of here, especially with his team coming to help him. So Team Vires doing well there.
Yeah, definitely like the team support coming up. I would have liked to see the Bubbles go for maybe a snipe on the Tempest, but again, taking the safe route is always fine too. I feel he could have sniped from behind as well, like completely safe and just given it a go, but
yeah, he saved that Shell Surf for when obviously Tempest tried to wrap it out of there. I would have preferred to see that Shell Surf a little bit earlier while he was still up on the hill, and then maybe, hope that there'd be enough time for one later. But, we're not playing the game then and there. We don't make those decisions. Glacius jumping onto that Chipper. Stun coming out from Rally as well. Not even going to need the Sazix Slam. Not that they had it. But Parasite will finish off Rally in retaliation.
Great counter kill there. Glacius actually had an invis and just walked straight up, so that was a bit unfortunate there for the Chipper.
Now they do have a bot rune ward, but I guess maybe they didn't see Glacius pick that up. So
yeah, they must have missed it. It was bottled up, I believe, and swap bottled. So, but Moon Queen just got
that Moon Queen. She throws out the ultimate though, and especially with that Cthulhu there, completely melts Chimpy again. So he's not having the best of times in this bottom lane. But Chipper's probably going to try and make something happen on Moon Queen. Now the ports are coming in. They know. I think they spotted out Angie Verona. And Bubbles has come in to try and make something happen. Chipper's actually going to get caught in between a Cthulhu and will get stunned. Kelpfield going out as well. And a Shell Surf. And that is going to be Chaos for Life ninjaing that kill, which he has every right to do as a Moon Queen.
Yeah, well, Moon Queen again. Beautiful counter kill there, and Cthulhu just showing his presence in this game. Rally might be in a bit of trouble here. Gets Deadwood punched, and down he goes. Looking at GPMs here, actually, no one has managed to break the 300 GPM bracket yet. So that's pretty interesting to see in a game like this. Lately, I haven't really seen, past 12 minutes. You normally see 350 GPM on at least one hero. But it looks like, again, the stats are really even this game.
I think that's probably about to change as Moon Queen picks up a Whispering Helm and jumps into the jungle. And you look, there's already a couple of double stacks, and with the help of Glacius, I would imagine her farm is going to jump up a fair bit, and she doesn't have far to go before she breaks that 300 gold per minute mark. Especially with his lane pushed up here, and they've got the lane ward down, so they know if any shit starts, and they need to get out of there.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much where Moon Queen's farm skyrockets. I'm happy to see Chaos for Life going straight for the control minion to go and stack those ancients as well. It's something I see a lot of Oz players fail to do. They get that Whispering Helm and they try and wait for the rate creep, but in essence, you just need a creep to stack.
Rally actually getting silenced there, not or cancelling the seismic shot. I'm not 100% sure. He is going to try and teleport out of here, though. Cthulhu should be able to charge out any second. He will get shot by the rocket on his way out, though. Vires actually picks up the kill. Parasite, yeah.
Using that leech ability, I believe. So, unfortunate again there, but it was a good turnaround from the Hellborn team.
Hey, Spill, to answer your question, they... Team Vires, which is on the Hellborn lane, a Deadwood Torturer in the bot lane with a counter, well, on the opposite end was a Moon Queen Glacius. In the mid we had a Tempest Rally, and up top we had a Bubbles versus Chipper. With Parasite mostly aggressive jungling and Cthulhu in the safe jungle, but making a lot of work happen into that long lane. Just short lane for him, but you know what I mean.
Parasite picks up that Codex, so we do see the Codex Parasite. Fairly popular. Lately it's been kind of depopularized by Hellflower and PK, so it's good to see someone still opting for that Codex, which I still think is extremely powerful on a Parasite.
I think that's mostly just because it's 5s though, and he's a natural troll. So I think he's going to get a Codex level 5 and then possibly put a mana ring on the courier with another Codex level 5.
that would be nice. That would be nice. Parasite is one of those heroes that, you know, it definitely has like an extreme use for that Codex with its draining venom ability. You know, like 24% extra damage, just like a Grimoire of Power on steroids.
Yeah, can't wait to see obviously the Grimoire in action on something like a Parasite, or a lot of these heroes really. And whether it becomes viable. I mean, it doesn't really give you too much survivability, but the Rally's in a little bit of trouble. He does have a regen. Deadwood getting stunned right at the exact right moment. Wild Hunter jumping in though and could cancel the regen onto that Rally, but deciding not to do any more. While that's happening though, Qlimax crew taking a top tower with that Cthulhu Bubbles combo, and Bubbles getting pretty close to that portal key now.
That's a huge pickup too. Like it's one of those pickups that just give you that initiation that you really want. Cthulhu opting for the tanky route, and it looks like Moon Queen's going to go for the Firebrand to farm up before going for something like a BKB.
Now, how do you feel about that? Because obviously the Shrunken Head's not really going to help her against Elemental Void or that Deadwood, but actually we've got a fight in that bottom lane. A lot of teleports coming in. The Chipper Blades are down. Moon Queen using that ultimate as well, running into the thick of it. Tempest trying to get out of there with haste, and it looks like he'll be fine. Tempest not getting that ultimate off during that fight, but it ends up being a 2-for-2 exchange.
Yeah, the Cthulhu actually charged 2 of them there, so he's probably going to take out this Tempest right here. Not sure what Tempest was thinking there.
I think Tempest waiting for the team to come in, but he had haste, got there a little bit earlier than everyone else, and wasn't able to get that ultimate off in time. Bubbles using a take cover there. He still did get leeched though, leeching bile happening. Chipper just manning up here into the trees. He's going to be fine. Teleports are coming in though, and I think while Parasite might get out of here, I think Chipper's a bit fucked.
Chipper's in a lot of struggle street right now.
Could we see Glacius getting the kill? There we go. Alvin getting kills.
That might have actually been different if he landed that rocket there, but the creep blocked it for him, so go Archer. Because that mini stun may have stopped the hold, which could have changed that around. But overall, well played by the Legion team in specific there, like getting the TPs in. Sure, some of them died, and it was a pretty even fight, but I feel that they came out on top there. And that's shown, especially by the gold lead and the XP lead swinging back into their favour.
They still want this tower though, especially with the Torturer Tempest. They've got the push potential. Chipper's going to walk right past the Bubbles, but they do have some Rev Ward out there. Chipper's in a lot of trouble. Tempest, can he get that ultimate off? He's melting quite quickly. Still has that Elemental Void, and he will only grab the Rally. The stun comes out from Cthulhu though to cancel it pretty much straight away, and Rally looks like he's going to walk out of there on a B-stick of health. Glacial Downpour doing what it can, but Deadwood off into the trees, and he has a portal key. I would be surprised if he gets caught out here. In fact, he's actually manning up and trying to kill Iglesias, which means he's probably going to die here. Chimpy, I don't think, playing that very well, but Fives getting a Codex kill on Iglesias, and Alvin even yelling out, "Fuck off, Fives."
Poor Glaciers. I saw that coming too. I saw Fives walking up and that Codex just went out. Yeah, I do think that was very poor play by Chimpy there, sadly, because he went back in, probably a bit greedy there. Maybe thought he was dead anyway. Chipper also jumping back in, if you didn't notice, at the back of the fray, and Moon Queen just taking him down with one bolt. The team manning up, I think, unnecessarily and just being a bit overextensive there. So they definitely paid for that.
Do you mean like overextended?
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Extensive.
Learning new words on nfgHoN with Mangy.
I got this, boys. Don't worry. So, yeah. Either way, again, another good fight from the Legion side there.
Now, Rally's still having a bit of a hard time with his farm after obviously struggling against that mid-Tempest. He's sitting at 228, going for that Shrunken Head now.
I'm not sure if I agree with the Shrunken Head, just because that compellability actually doesn't work if someone's popped Shrunken Head. So he won't be able to compel himself, he'll have to compel someone else. And getting that ult off without the compellability is...
Ooh, Bubbles doing a great take cover and Portal King out before Deadwood can throw the ultimate on him. And
great play from July 29th there.
See at the same time.
A lot of banter coming out from these makeup teams here. And I'm not sure if all of it's friendly, in fairness.
It's an interesting story, Tom Pack. I actually ran into one of the Catalyst boys in TMM the other day. And I was doing quite well, I feel, on Midas, on my alt account. But the internet cut out halfway through the game, so they ended up losing. Unfortunately, I feel really terrible. So that game also brought to you by Telstra. Yes. That loss brought to you by Telstra. I know, DC Moore. Oh, that was you. Yeah, it was you. Fuck. That's right.
Oh,
Midway
no.
through the game, I'm just chatting on voice, and this guy's like, "Oh, hey Pink, do you cast Australian HoN matches?" And I wasn't actually Pink, and I was like, he may not, but I do. What's up? It's NFG Dan. Then proceeded to get like 5 kills and disconnect. I hope you made great use of my Steam boots.
Bad luck. Telstra at work. Telstra at work.
Chimpy... Sorry, not Chimpy. Chipper. Getting them confused now. In bot lane, but he's going to be scared off by Cthulhu, and with good reason, because Iglesias Bubbles are nearby. Iglesias taking cover off an Ice Ogre.
Probably left that auto take cover on.
Yeah.
At a guess. But Bubbles just doing his best to recover here. Interesting though, like I would have expected Bubbles to be leaving the jungle predominantly for the Moon Queen right now. Moon Queen sitting at 400 GPM, so still 60 above Parasite, who's the next best farmer on the other team. Rally does pick up that BKB too now, so see that come into play. And goodbye Tempest. Walking up the wrong hill at the wrong time there, and Chipper looks like he may be in trouble.
Chipper just got, and this is definitely still in favour of Qlimax at the moment, 19 to 13 as we go past that 23-minute mark, about 5k gold lead, and they're pushing up the guts now.
Yeah, and the gold lead is definitely increasing too. And to say that, like without the Hellborn team really running a carry, running the only one that could probably viably carry against the Moon Queen as hard support, like their time's running out, I feel. So I think the Hellborn definitely needs to make some plays happen now, or we're going to be a bit lost in Moon Queen's just auto attack godlikeness. So see how this plays out. It'll be interesting to see what Moon Queen goes next to see if he does go for that BKB or he goes for the Geo's Bane. Like, both very viable. Right-clicking a BKB as we speak, so. Going on that mid lane, Cthulhu getting a beautiful double stun off. Moon Queen coming in, just cleaning up, doing so much damage.
With that Shrunken Head not even activated, didn't need to avoid anything. Hellborn actually thrown out the vote to concede.
Fans are coming out on their own team, so you know a game's pretty over. We all know Chaos for Life has 17 accounts that he plays on consistently, Nightwalker. But GG's well played.